Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LPL 2025 Split 2.
Will hopefully cause some issues. Okay, right, so that means we've missed the fact that Beitran has quickly cleared towards bot side, flashes in and gets the wall stun. Kill onto Naket. TT absolutely. You guys can enjoy some of these stories in a bit more of a, let's say, official capacity. You know what I mean? Sets up. Teleports into the mid lane. Naket walks in here. No flash, no heal. Forces and corral setup into Milky Way, who flashes forward, and that'll be a kill. Really good jungle support play. Good roam from Naket, who comes back out onto the map. I can't remember the other team he was on, but he was definitely on our RA for a bit. His individual laning, definitely something to be proud of. Feather in the brush, of course, can get a good route through here. If he can get, it's nice, really good route. Can you get a trap underneath it? Yeah, they can. That's a fantastic combo from 1xN and Feather. And another trap comes through as well. Can they get the extra flash after? Yes, they can. It pits him down into the bailout. 1xN does not die to a rend after a fantastic play from 1xN and Feather. Jachi and Naket rotate up towards topside to get themselves some pressure towards the grubs, and all can you tell. He's on LGD. Thank you, Trinity. I appreciate that. As there we get ourselves ult missed. Antonio, I was looking away from the screen for a second. Antonio's used his ult. I'm going to assume he misses it. Gets rooted up in place. Sets up now ahead in gold. A little bit. But you expect that to be the case. It's not out of control for the Ambassador, so Antonio can be pretty happy where he is. Milky Way has no flash, has ult now though. Remember, if you get that swirl seed on target, then it's nasty as heck. Does he have the extra movement speed? No. Naket and Jachi forced away, and that's a wall stun. It'll be another bailout tried to be used, but I don't know if it'll be enough. So only the Nico watering for now, though. Another Q, is it going to be enough roots? And it's a kill. Bailout wears off. Another kill for the support. Sets up not cancelled out of his ultimate, so he'll be able to safely get away from that Lilia ultimate, which was channeled onto him too. Wonderful snowball around this 2v2 situation. They'll get themselves the 3 grubs away from the Lilia. Really nice. Roam towards the top side. Jachi and Naket in river, but what are they going to do? They're trying to stop this tower going down. Setab doesn't have ult, is hit up by the ults, but not going to be able to... No, not going to go down, rather. Flashes out. And Jachi and Naket, they make a play, but more realistically 2-item team fight between all the members involved, but really 1 item in level 11, maybe. I don't know. For RNG, you need to wait later into the game, basically. Beitran going to take another set of grubs. That's going to be 6 grubs for TT. Yikes. And now the problem is, Caitlyn, who is already 1.5k gold lead up, gets to hit towers with 6 grubs. Give them a little bit of time, maybe. Give them another playoffs or 2. They could be LPL mainstays in mid to top table LPL teams, particularly with, you know, oh, that's a really good combo, and the cat did not want to be there. Oh, flash forwards for the handshake, tries to go for a combo, and the cholesterol helps bail him out. Beitran now in a lot of trouble, will burn down. The equalizer's pretty good, but I don't know whether that's going to lead to any kills as it stands. A flash backward, Milky Way flashes forward, and suddenly RNG are feeling it. A good sleep, but 1xN gets out. Is it enough? You're still melee range with way too many people. It's an arcane showdown between Ambassador and Caitlyn, and I don't think the Caitlyn comes out on top of that. RNG find a huge 3-for-none team fight. Naket flashes forward, knowing as the support of his team, RNG bring things back. You just de facto win the game. Tiny one on top side, not going to be able to do that much there. Good T over timing. Yes, there's going to be an outer tower taken by Xiaoshu. How much are you going to get out of this inner one? Half of it so far. Splash lands. He has no summoners. He has no flash. He has no cleanse as well. He gets hit by double ultimates. He does get out for now, but Xiaoshu is on that Caitlyn. The Caitlyn goes down. It's a 1-for-1 as the Kalista dies on the other side. Nico buying some time with a Pop Blossom, but I don't know if they have the damage now. Sets up half HP. And the teleport coming in from Tiny, and of course, earlier on into the play means that TT have once again overstepped. A swirl seed leads to a 3-for-1 fight. RNG getting a lot out of these big ultimates. Very well initiated game win condition of the soul. TT just not paying attention to grubs. 6 grubs being used to get a little bit of damage in the turret. Teleport away from the bot side of the map by Xiaoshu. Does that leave TT with an option to make a play away from the Ornn lane now? Tanyuan doesn't have teleport, neither does Xiaoshu, and you do have the realm we can see. Beitran Summoning out that Herald in the mid lane. Now, they do have that 6 scrubs. This should be an easy tower take. That should be gone. Drive it immediately into that turret. Get a couple of autos on. That'll do it. Tower, random misstep from TT could genuinely cost them this next fight and a huge strategic part of the game. Clone used up. You can use the traps to buy a little bit of vision. The same with the clone. Xiaoxu walking towards Beichuan. Are we just splitting the map? Rice does have teleport. He's not here for the setup. Are we just using 6 scrubs and say, right, you can have your dragons. Let's just get as much gold? Do they not want to fight objectives at all? I don't know, TT. I don't know. I guess going against Callista Ren feels meh. But you haven't done that much work. Yeah, you might get an inner turret, but it's not that much work. 700 gold. And Riftmaker both have their Haunting Guides passive, so you get the increase 6% from Liandry's and 10% from Riftmaker, which means that overall, because they kind of they work multiplicatively, you get like 12% increased damage or something like that instead of. Oh, it's a flash forward onto Feather, who gets onto the Blast Cone. Is that going to be enough? That's a very, very fast deer, but the Poppy ultimate saves him. So Milky Way flashing all down for Feather's flash and his heal. You're so important here too. They're trying to use this to go towards the Atakan. Now that might be a problem for TT. Do you really want to go in towards this? Ambessa caught out and a Realm Walk comes in. Ultimate use the Wallster, not going to land. They might end up trading Ambessa's life for the Atakan? Yeah, I don't know about that one. You've got the 6 scrubs and you've been trying to 1-3-1. Setup's he's going to flash over. He'll flash away to deny the GA. The withdrawal comes through. It's a little bit more value. Inner turret. Now, this is more valuable. I was wondering, okay, well, if you're going to give it the Atakan, you better get some freaking objectives. I don't think TT should be... they've been so scared walking up to objectives before. Ult comes through. Doesn't land onto the cap right now. The Ambassador ult does not land onto either. And suddenly 1xN is actually free into the backline. Needs to be a little bit careful, but suddenly, actually, RNG have kind of messed up their engage. Beichuan plays for the disengage. Feather playing for a little bit of space buying as well. Jachi jumps forwards, but it's RNG that have messed up their engage. They don't get themselves their big combo. It's going to be a Callista used defensively. 1xN does have to use that cleanse onto Milky Way, who does manage to get the dust onto them. RNG teleport back out onto the map. However, even though RNG lose themselves the confrontation around the Baron, they get themselves onto the map quicker. Teleports will need to be... Well, they'd love to be used by TT, but they don't have them. 20 seconds. Rise wouldn't have been there. No ultimate, no teleport. Instead, RNG back off. Maybe feeling like they can go a little bit slower. I felt like they could just rush straight up towards it. Feather using the clone to tank up another Swell Seed. It's going to get started up now. RNG, they don't have their big ultimates now, though. That's a big loss, and suddenly Caitlyn can feel so much more happy. They can go up towards this. RNG, what are they looking for? Smite Steal, they don't have a flash on the Lilia. Hoya has his Equalizer, and that's a huge point. We haven't really seen the Rumble have that much value in this game so far. And Besser on the backside has ult in 5 seconds. Equalizer, where is that gone? Where is the Equalizer gone, Hoya? Jachi's dead all the same. Tanyuan has his ultimate now, and he'll get into the play onto 1xN. Feather gives a good peel ultimate, though, and the Ambassador goes down. It's a 2v1, just like in Arcane. Ryzel dodges out on the skill shots. The setup tries to get a kill onto the Ornn, and will do so. Milky Way goes down. RNG end up losing the players. A triple kill comes through to setup. I thought that with the Atakan and model their way through to a parent themselves, even though that frickin' Equalizer went to Nadia. Where did that Equalizer go? Hoya, my friend. Ultimates are back up again from RNG, and there is a flash on the Caitlyn. I guess that's the thing you have to contend with. Patron using that recall to cancel the ultimate. Caitlyn goes into the Ornn. I guess it means that they're out of position to defend the towers, but 6 scrubs. It's a very easy to shred through. You know, Nico doesn't normally build support items. Can't really go for someone like a Mikhail's. Well, when you're 2,000 gold ahead, you can. Feather's had a wonderful game. Feather might... I think Feather's low-key my MVP. This Nico's been insane from both laning phase and in teamfight perspective. See if they can close it out, of course. 6 scrubs. Ornn ult coming through. 1xN caught in their own animations, and the ultimates come through, but it's not enough. Cleanse has been used, and the summoners from 1xN mean he can keep DPSing. Milky Way goes forwards, and the ultimate means a great deal of nothing. RNG had a couple of good team fights, but TT, Thunder Talk, get themselves the gold value from their own macro. 1-0 for them in the best. I don't think you really need to. There's no hyper tank on the other side for this game. So AL, pick that triple melee topside Sejuani with the melee synergy from both Gwen and from the Yone. Hello Mist? No. Oh, whatever. I can't remember the name of it anymore. Jumping up into the river. Hope and Kyle coming in. 4v2 in the river as it stands. What are we seeing here? There is a smite from Junhao. And it goes down to 3 HP. It was so close. His Q might have to be flashed to get over the wall, and it does so. Junhao very close to losing the dragon. Loses his flash. One trick from the PCS. A Riven main. He's been good on other stuff, but he's a Riven player. Hope does have 6. Hits Wacko at the end of it, and he doesn't have a cleanse. Should have flashed that one, friend. Wacko, greedy use of summoners. Thinks maybe you can just walk at cost of the 3 Grubs. Anyone's Legend. Grubs have spawned now as well. Anyone's Legend have to set up on bot side. See, I can't believe I said that. Junhao onto the Grubs. Junhao, decent early game from him so far, but we'll see how that continues. Hang on a second. Wacko, you really have been punished, haven't you? Had the flash. Can't use it this time. Could have done the last time. 0 and 2 on the Ziggs. The silent gets intangible. It's a very useful mechanic. EGM, getting a good trade there. Shanks doesn't have ult this time. Has the E. Charges up his Q, and I think this time they'll find themselves the kill they've been looking for. Saber and Junhao get themselves towards that Yone and get themselves the kill. However, that does mean they don't have these 2 players on the bot side of the map. Varus is coming down. Xiaoxia, EGN, under turret. Tarzan does not have ultimate. Can he just go towards us anyway, though? Who takes aggro? It's going to be Tarzan, I believe, and yes, it is. Big ultimates being traded back and forth. Tarzan tanking the turret for a very long time, and suddenly the extra CC comes through. Tarzan flashes and goes down. EGM might end up dying to Hope. Junhao has arrived to the play now, and it ends up being, I suppose, a 3-for-1, but our extra kill is going to come through. Of course they are. Junhao picks up another. Flandre forced to run. Another Q is going to come through from the buy, and that should be another one, and indeed it is. 500 gold from that last kill, as suddenly we have a 3-kill Vi running around the rift. Anyone's Legend think they have a quick cross map. It extends, and Ultra Prime get themselves a hell of a lot of kills. Satchel's going to go onto this turret too. Ultra Prime explode through this game. And they're in a much better position to fight now. Herald's going to be taken down. They don't have the Grubs, which means that Flandre can leave this play and say, all right, cool. I'm an ambassador. Not ambassador. Turret. Yeah. Dragon's going to be taken by Annual's Legend. First Hex Tech of the game of the Hex Tech Rift. That we shall. Dragon up in 2 minutes. Atakan, the Ruinous Atakan, up in 20 seconds. Hang on, and suddenly Xiaoxia caught out here, has deployed the Solver and the Flash. Hope gets absolutely neutralized though. Full combo from Wacko lands onto them, and suddenly Junhao says, all right, that's an opening. No, Varus, we can make something out of that. Renata pulls out the ultimate, but is absolutely destroyed. Saber goes in now, maybe a little too far, but gets out safely. A random pick attempt onto Xiaoxia gets Atakan is up on the rift. Yeah, nice zoning out here. So now extra autos come through. You have Magic Pen. Doesn't even need to use the Satchel to kill the tower. Mid lane turret will be taken down on this wave. Ziggs gets some extra gold. And Hope is out of position for the dragon. They're going to start it up. Very powerful Vi. If Vi wants to start a fight at some point too. Send that play to Orcs to see if he multiple Wacko using Satchel offensively. That was a good offensive Satchel. There is a difference between a good offensive Satchel and a bad one. Because he ends up using the Satchel to put him... Hang on a second. Is Saber near for a bigger play here? Good tramp combo. Big combo coming back, though, from Annual's Legend. Xiaoxia, no summoners. Might be a freebie onto the Leona, and indeed it is. However, you've used your Needlework, you've used your Glacial Prison, you've used your Hostile Takeover. Annual's Legend only have 2 ultimates to play around now, and they're also not even into the river. Xiaoxia, I think he's okay trading his life for that, because Junhao is very, very strong. Remember, he's good at tank killing with a Black Cleaver now. Good ultimate coming back, though, from one of those last 2 ultimates remaining, and Ultra Prime have kind of misused their point of power. Wacko not in range. Feels like Junhao went very, very brave to be afraid of, but somehow one of the remaining ones ends up still winning the day for Anyone's Legend. That's a shame. That is a shame. So what happened here, then? Did they just lose track of where the Varus was? I guess they did. Back into live, though. Kyle almost getting soloed up by Saber, and indeed he is. Xiaoxia ended up putting himself into the play there, too. Remember, Junhao, very, very strong if he gets himself onto the play. Shanks, good amount of damage. What's happening with Jen here? That's going to be the Vi Ambassador combo, and the Yone goes down. Junhao dies after flashing. Hope is still alive, and it feels like Junhao has just really misjudged his own plays a little bit too poorly in this. Tarzan makes it out alive. Junhao, for all his gold lead, cannot see himself through the play, and Anyone's Legend, despite losing 2 kills, will get themselves the Ruinous Atacant. That'll buff up their dragons, it'll buff up their 5 grubs, and it'll give them some roses to pick up off the ground as well. The flower patch, claimed by that level of camaraderie, kind of shown to an audience, was really, really cool. Saber left alone here on the side, and spot up by Blue Trinket. He'll need to ult his way out. He goes into his first part of his R and his W as well. Ults out. Tarzan misses his ultimate, so it's a trade of ult for ult. Is there going to be any help for him beyond that? No, nope. He's going back home in a hearse. Saber clipped a little bit there. Wings clipped. Anyone's Legend, do they go straight on towards the Atacant now? Yes, they do. No Akali to worry about. They don't have 2 ultimates, but again, they've been doing well at using their remainder of their ultimates to play around the rest of the fight. Junhao flying over the top, maybe looking for a smite seal, but then the fight comes through as they're peeling off the Baron Xiaoxia. Going back, loses half his HP, and Anyone's Legend say, alright, we've got ourselves that chunk, can't really go beyond that point. Nothing more to be had here. Anyone's Legend take the pick, and they'll get out. Oh, nice combo of that. Ends up leaving the Akali on the other side. Might actually have to get himself... Well, he doesn't really have an easy way over, does he? He has to use that Hexscape, using some zoning ultimates, and it's actually Varus which takes down the dragon. Smite's not the one which claims it. Old Ambessa into the backline, and Ambessa starts to do work. Hope dies, but is the damage enough? Saber goes down 2, and Shanks buys enough time that Anyone's Legend are eviscerated around the team fight. 3 dead for Ultra Prime. Anyone's Legend 3 dead themselves, but with the members alive and just the little Ziggs, he can't keep himself up in that DPS race. Anyone's Legend take out of position. You're stuck out of position because of the slope. All he needs to get is 1 slope, and that's it. The Hextech lands, and that's it. But Hextech slow lands, you're not making it out of this now. Vi, very mobile champion, but you're just going to get stuck into the play. Has Guardian Angel, is going to lose it. No one else is going to be able to come towards him. Junhao, I respect the angle, trying to look for the creative flank, but quite a little too far. Gets a kill back onto Kyle. Don't know why he was positioning there. That's a play of all time. As that goes down, a kill comes out through onto Junhao. Of course, on the top side, Shanks goes down as the dive comes through from Ultra Prime, but now they are stuck into the play. And what do we say? The Hextech Soul means that when you're in the play, really feels like it's hard to get out of it. Saber, once again, loses out in the Clash of Blades. Scissors beat swords in this one as another one lands. How do you make it out of this? Yes, you have a ton of different dashes from the Ambessa, but it's so hard to get away from the permanent slow of the Hextech Soul. The chase down is absolutely obscene. Tries to Omnivamp his way through, but he will heal no more. Ultra Prime do well to get a kill back onto Shanks, I suppose, in the cross-map play, but Anyone's Legend, that Hextech Soul, it's winning the day. Also worth noting, folks, that grubs increase the value of your soul as well, so any damage and slows gets increased by the Ruinous Atacant, which might not be apparent on the screen itself, but trust me, when you're playing against it, you notice, that slow's a little stronger, that damage is a little stronger. Nasty as heck. Ultra Prime walking up to contest the Baron. Baron's steal is the only thing that could have happened. Not going to be the case. Zigzol comes across, not able to secure that either. And now Junhao finds himself at the scene of his previous demise. Can he make it out again? I think maybe can this time. Tarzan jumping forwards. Saber. Oh, Vile comes in and Saber goes into the fray. Barisol does end up hitting and will go down. God damn, man, the damage from Saber is absolutely absurd. Is it enough? The Hextech Soul once again causing some issues. Kyle walking up this time. So, 2 kills. Legends, when does this game end? So we call them games, not maps, by the way. Because we only play on the same map, so it's kind of pointless calling them maps. It ends with the Nexus falls. Should be, look, honestly, with Elder coming up in 10 seconds, should be ending pretty shortly. Saber has to ult out, and that's a problem, because it doesn't do any damage to the Sejuani. And Sejuani just gets to keep walking forwards, walking up again, has himself the chain-laced crushes for the extra magic shield. Ultra Prime forced away from the Elder, and that's a bit of a problem, isn't it? They can wave clear a little bit. Not sure they can wave clear for forever, though. Shanks goes forwards. Can he use an ult to get any further forwards? He goes forwards. Yes, he does. And Shanks finds himself a kill onto the Ziggs as the Ambessa goes down as well. You're asking when the game's going to end? I think it's going to end right about now. Redemption comes through. There's a wave coming up behind them with the extra 30 seconds to Barama, courtesy of the Ruinous Atacant, which increased the duration of it. Anyone's Legend should be able to walk through their first win of the day and of their group stage. Junhao not able to use his early gold lead to really much avail. Anyone's Legend take a clean ace at the end of the game and will take down the Nexus. Roll up. And let's see whether Ultra Prime got that dog in them for real. They got it on the Rift, though. Junhao locks in the first Neferi in the top level for 20 on the opposite side of the matchup. He lost against the Gwen last time. Let's see if he can do anything better. This time on the opposite side of it. Milky Way going bot side. Flash forwards from Niket. Misses out on that Q, but it does end up giving a Q back. Flash forward from Milky Way, but here comes the Neferi. Can they do anything with this? It's going to go a little bit extended, and Junhao gets a Q over the entire team. The bleed is absolutely monstrous. And the Neferi turns up bot lane in their first ever top level jungle game and gets 3 kills for his teammates. 1-0-2 on the Neferi. Man. I'm going to start playing some Neferi. This champion looks busted. Red side, of course, helps you as well with the terrain. You don't have your back to the wall, which is kind of a problem when you're taking some of these early objectives. EGen needs to use his teleport right now. Xiaoshu could trade through. But he does that right after his teleport. All that does is force EGen to recall. Well, no, maybe that's not right. Milky Way ulting under the turret. Here comes the Ambessa as well. Do you have enough cooldowns? The ult hits, and the slow doesn't quite end up pinning Milky Way down for another tower shot. EGN uses his ult, uses his flash, dies still all the same. Good opportunity taken by Milky Way, especially since he's being pushed off the map so heavily by Junhao in the early power of the Neferi. Xiaoshu going to take a plate on towards top side. EGN not able to teleport back before this, of course. Has a couple of seconds left to get that. When's the first turret going down? Worth noting, by the way, the actual pack mates that Neferi has do damage to tower as well, and that was one of the things that was buffed on the champions that helps them take that first tower. That Junhao used to use his E to recover his pack mates' HP. Does get them that. Pack mates recovered. Good stuff. Because you don't want to lose your dogs. Your dogs are now a lot more of your DPS than they were before. Milky Way taking his wolves. Not walking over right now. Xiao on a ward, so he is spotted. Walk away from that. Essentially looking for a Hexgate over the other side. Herald now taken. Are we looking for a fight? Eclipse goes in. Aftershocks there. Xiaoshu getting Brawn passive, but will that be enough? Gwen's in to the fight too. Xiaoshu kind of left alone on the play. We haven't seen the melees really get involved, and Junhao goes in. Niket just explodes, and he gets a reset. He gets more than that. He gets a second kill. The Neferi pops off. He's now separated from the fight. Is that enough for RNG to take something back? Milky Way trying to get something done. The dogs pounce over the wall. It's not going to be enough to save Wako. Junhao walking forwards again. The daggers start to fly once more. I don't know if they can chase down for more than that. But Neferi makes their impact. Hits the W. Hits the Q, rather. This ends up being Herald over to the side of Ultra Prime. And a 3 for 2, all things said and done. Junhao goes in, tries to stop the recall and go untargetable to stop the tower shot. And your mobility from your E. The survivability from your W. Shojin, good item, all in all. 4 dogs currently up and available. Remember, has those max 5, a lot of them coming through. The dogs actually die. But suddenly, I mean, that's just Xiaoshu getting absolutely exploded. Junhao not wanting to dive into the Braum. Braum just sat back there and saying, all right, you come into me if you want. Junhao not able to save his support. The Leona goes down for free. That's something that we didn't see that, actually, onto the side lanes anymore, because most of the time you take the side lanes for free anyway, really. 6 scrubs will make this easy thing to do, though. Atakan started up. Junhao, good objective damage. I wonder how quickly the Voracious Atakan kills your dogs. Yeah, pretty quickly. It means you lose a lot of your DPS on there. Down to half HP. Where's Milky Way? Just down there in the Tribra. You have to hop over the wall. Maybe looking for a Smite Steal. It's gone down pretty low. It's healing up. It goes into that healing aura. Xiaoshu misses that Zenith Blaze. Junhao uses Call of the Pack to go untargetable and dodge out on that volley. Still very low HP. They're starting to lose some resistances, obviously, by sitting in the pit here. It's getting a little bit different. Here comes the jump forward, stunned up immediately, and it's a dive. Again, Wako has been left out to dry, but Niket and Jachi have had the same thing happen to their Tangyuan, trying to do something back there. The Atakan's so low, can they just get towards it? Yes, they can. It's the GA claimed by RNG of all teams, even though it's Ultra Prime that put it in there. Junhao, reset on his ultimate, will be forcing those withdrawals to come through, though. So RNG, they technically lose 5. 3 of them were withdrawals, but Ultra Prime don't get the damage that Sheila really wants to. They get 1 kill out of this fight. 1 kill on the initial dive, and that's it. Very, very fed. But can you actually carry an entire team fight? It's hard to do that from jungle. Q hits. Good bleed. Very good bleed, actually. Pulls the dogs back with the E. The Eviscerate, and that's going to be another death onto Xiaoxia. Maybe flashes back out. The Galliot comes in, and the Varus ult has pinned Niket into the fight. That's another withdrawal coming through as the dragon has spawned. Ultra Prime have a numbers advantage around what would be their third dragon of the game. Withdrawal comes through. Remember, it takes you a little while to get back out onto the map now from the withdrawals. I think it's was it 15 seconds or something like that? Anyway, it's a little while to get back from that. Junhao looking to get that bleed. Does get that bleed. Dodge that in the turret shot again. 6 dogs maximum currently, because the extra ranks of your W. So one gives you the extra dog pack mates as well. Xiaoxia back out onto the map. Didn't die in that last play. EGM on the side. Has the needlework. No Galio ultimate available is kind of big for Ultra Prime. On the other side, you don't have your bot lane ultimates, I don't think. I think both of them still on cooldown. Dragon getting bled lower and lower. Needlework used by EGN. That's a big tool to use. Not sure about that one. Very strange from EGN. Mid tower's gonna go down. Saber can kill that. 6 scrubs, of course, very much helping. Dragon not taken just yet. Tower trade. RNG go towards the bot lane outer turret. And suddenly a fight might just be about to happen. The Shield of Daybreak not able to land, and neither does the Solar Flare. The cat gets out. Xiaoxia, not the cleanest game from the Leona so far. Xiaoxia was spotted heading into that brush, question mark. Does that ward spot him? I don't think so. I guess it's on the positioning. So Xiaoxia is on a good flank. Arrow hits onto Jatchi. That's nice. Any extra HP you take down there is very, very powerful. You don't have Needlework. Flash away from the ultimate by Wako. That's important. Suddenly Ambassador doesn't have a way into this, and Junhao gets to jump onto Milky Way, who is going to get absolutely eviscerated by the Eviscerate, but not before. Well, it's the Leona dying again. Junhao does not claim his first target. There's no reset on his ultimate. However, Milky Way is so low, he can't stick around for a smite now. So it's 1 kill to the side of RNG. Dragon claimed by Ultra Prime, and they'll get it. You hit 1 Q, the bleed stacks it up. Nasty, nasty. Okay, so Baron's up and available. Side lane's not really being investigated right now. It's been much more about kind of quick picks around mid lane. Okay, was threatening. That swift march though, and that's a Varus ult used onto the teleporting Ambassador. Xiaoxia completely caught out, and you get a reset on the dog. The Hound's pursuit has pursued RNG right the way down the river Styx as he's pushing the boat down. Brawn passive tags onto it, but Junhao absolutely eviscerates with the Eviscerate. Jatchi taking some damage. It's Ultra Prime. I mean, they take the jungler, they take the top lane. I mean, that's surely just Baron started up. There's no Dragon answer on the other side. There's no side lanes available for RNG to go towards. RNG, they might have just coming through with Gallia Qs for poke, and of course the Varus helping with that one. Yes, quadruple melee from Ultra Prime, but they have some ranged abilities to help play through this. A lot of Baron damage with the 6 scrubs. Range all in all. Some damage coming through from Jatchi. Trying to walk up and do something. Pretty hard for him to do so. Has a Bloodthirst try. Hang on a second. That's a smite through onto the shield. Wako gets the Galio all at the same time. He can't sit around, and the Galio just channels W on top of his AD carry, which means the AD carry is safe, and the Ultra Prime top side can start going for the dive instead. However, Tonyuan goes for an alley-oop, ults over the ult on the other side. Galio channels the W again, but it's not enough this time to save the Varus. However, you still haven't dealt with the rest of the top side. Junhao has enough HP, and Tonyuan cannot survive. Neferi lives to tell the tale, and Ultra Prime, they lose their... Junhao does end up sadly onto Jatchi that way. Uses Tonyuan as basically a bus to get there. And you can see that, you can see what, you know, Saber's trying to do. Just channel W on top of the Darius, but it just runs out of duration there. Hextech Soul now on the table, trying to scare off the rest of the team. Are they going to go for the rest of the Dragon? No, they're going to go for some kills, and bloody hell, they get them a double kill for the Leona. Sure, why not? Put the sunglasses on to serve yourself a bit of a holiday paycheck there. EGM going to go on to Xiaoxia as well with the Hextech Soul. Xiaoxia has to teleport his way out. Ultra Prime, after getting a little bit blown apart by anyone's legend, might have just seen themselves with a victory against RN. Potentially sees them into that 3rd place instead of the 2nd, which we assume these two teams will be playing off for. Not to say that they can't beat a team like anyone's legend or Thunder Talk in the right situation, but especially in best of ones, but still. As the 3rd and 4th seeded teams coming in here on form coming into the group stage, playing one of them out today. Hexgate's coming through. Xiaoxia runs into the Vi. That's a lot of skills used onto the Leona, though, and that's a problem. There's a kill coming through from Junhao, who gets a reset, and he can start chasing through again. The Hound's pursuit. Ooh! Zedakali, Xiaoshu going down as well. Neferi, deathless, RNG, blood dripping out of the wounds inflicted by Ultra Prime. Bark at the moon. Ultra Prime, it is a bright, bright night for them. Walking towards the Nexus, RNG have been pulled apart at the seams. The pack walks towards the Nexus, and Ultra Prime will give a win to the first top-level jungle Neferi in the world. Anyone's Legend, Flandre, and Shanks. Not the easiest CC setup for them, but if you do get into the backline with Alistair, and the Cyclone starting to go, I want to say. 11 years, was it, between energy release champions? Is that the case? Setup might get CC'd up here. Tarzan. Can he flash in for an E? This could be a little bit dicey, but sees Baytran around the corner. Does not want to commit. Summoner. Baytran, of course, Setup could have flashed out potentially. No further fight there. Kyle wanting to roam up, but walks into a Bronchi instead. That could be a bit of an issue. Has to flash out. Yep, you have to. If you get stand up, you lose all your HP. Baytran walking to Tarzan now. Shinzao, good duelist. On his own for now, Kyle could go for a flash combo into the Galleon. That's exactly what they're going to do. It's an exhaust, not an ignite, but it doesn't matter. Ashbourne coming down into the play now, and the pass is starting to tick. Hope gets a fast bomb, doesn't get the end final kill, but Flandre is teleported early in, and it's an absolute bloodbath. 4 dead in the bot side jungle for TT, despite having the Ash Braum, despite having the lane priority. Anyone's Legend. Issue, really. Tarzan going to take the Scuttle Crab. Grubs are alive. Dragon not actually being started. Could have dropped the aggro of that, I suppose. Feather. Oh, trying to get something onto 1xN. Slow combo. Frost Bomb's going to come through. The Corki being very bursty means that 1xN just goes down. TT misjudging the aggressive options of Anyone's Legend. Now Shanks has Flash, has Taunt. He can potentially look for an extended fight here. Goes in with a Justice Punch and gets himself a 2-man taunt onto the Braum and onto the Shinzao, forcing the flash out of the Shinzao and the life out of Feather. 1xN and Feather have not been able to impact this game as the Ash Braum. It's another dash. Baytran loses his flash and then his life afterwards, a little bit delayed. The scoreline looking a bit like a reverse Brazil-Germany, 7-1, as Anyone's Legend have absolutely blown out this early game. Kyle can get himself a combo here, needs to get himself out of turret though, and will just do that. Hope needs to be a little careful there, as now Flandre takes the aggro. That tower's done 1,000,000 damage, and it doesn't even matter. Tower juggling, not necessary, but AP early, going towards that tank first item. Both of these guys are effectively adding like an extra 1.5k gold lead on top of what they already have. It's an insane amount of stuff. Kyle doesn't have himself a 6, but the Cyclone does. The Wukong clone was punted into 1xN. The Cyclone's going to get a little bit nasty as Baytran goes down. Flandre is doing a massive amount of damage. Yes, you do get 1 kill, but Flandre, the Gwen was so disgusting in the last game. It's so disgusting here too. Can't follow up for that extra Q. 6-0 and 2 though. Flandre, incredible performances from him today. This is ridiculous. Shanks with the 10-stack Dark Seal kills Setup. Oh, good at this point in the game. The earlier you get a Magi's, the better it is. We have a fight in picture as we are watching the replayers. Hoya has to get himself out of the play. Oh my word, it just doesn't stop. It just does not end. Another kill onto Baytran, 0 and 4 in the jungle. Thunder Talk, what can you do at this point? They played for early fights and they've lost them soundly. Riftmaker comes in for Flandre. First item for Shanks won't be far behind either. He'll go back for the Hollow Radiance. Stopped with the needlework. Yeah, that's a problem. He doesn't have flash, does have an ultimate. Second needlework hits. Flandre is happy to just walk up and say, all right, I'll just cancel out your CC. Here comes the dive. Setup. No, Flash uses the ult, but he dies anyway. The ultimate of the Alistair makes a big difference, and it looks like the teleport on the other side of the map was cancelled out. Just cancel out. Shanks must have got a taunt or an E onto him. So Hoya can't even return to try and pick up a wave under turret or anything like that. Anyone's Legend, another clean kill. Baytran, why are you here? Trying to go onto Flandre. He doesn't have the needlework now. Goes into the fray. Baytran goes for it again. Can he get himself the knockup? He's trying. The broad passive comes through, and they can't get the kills. They can't get anything. Another 2-0 to Anyone's Legend. They swing for the king, and they miss horribly. The teleport from Akali could have... I don't even know if it would have turned around much. He backs off from the lane, but he's within E and W range. Ult comes through from Akali after that point. He can't even get anything after that point. Even against a full armor. Galio, 1xn now on the turret. Has to flash away from the combo. Doesn't even take tower aggro because he doesn't do any damage to him. 1xn has to sit and weep. What do you do? What do you do? What more to be said? 13 minutes in, clear of a 5k gold lead, verging on 6. Beitran might even die here again, by the way. Needlework's coming up now. Flandre is so ridiculously strong. He's going towards Cosmic Drive second. Yeah, Braum getting some damage with that passive 3 back again. Beitran gets exhausted, and here comes the Galio. Here comes the Needlework as well, as a kill comes through onto the Alistar. A rare kill for TT, but they lose themselves their jungler and their support in trade. Setab has an ult in 10 seconds. Not sure he can do that much more on it. Setab might be able to get something onto Hope as he's stayed too long. What are you doing there, son? Public execution goes on to Shanks, who doesn't really give a damn. Bit of a live fast and loose play here from Enel's Legend. So they do lose their AD carry as the ultimate of Setab comes through. What does the All Might does? He does a lot of them. Oh, flash combo in 1xn. No flash because he tried to avoid it the last time. Doesn't have it again now. Kyle, wonderful Alistar game from him. Beitran has to ult to wave clip as they shins out. That is how dire things are getting. Teleport to the other side of the map. Galio will collect that wave. I mean, TT trying to stem the bleed. Well, the bleeding's already happened, really. They've already been exsanguinated. One of my favorite words, by the way. It means your blood's been removed. They'll have been doing that through blunt force trauma. 4 grubs to 2, not the 6 grubs. It's not the easiest to take down the turrets, I suppose, as it could be, but... well, that's just a luxury they're missing. They've had too many others of them, I suppose. Who gets MVP? Built up for Cork. Yeah, you'll notice this a lot, by the way. If you get feats of strength, you can build towards swiftness boots instead of the other builds. Whether if you don't have feats of strength, I don't think it's worth going towards it. But if you get them hit, the amount of move speed you get is absolutely disgusting. But you do have to go into a Gwen with Flash and with W, so yeah, good luck with that. Tower taken in mid lane, Dragon taken, TT with no cross map. You know, 6,000 gold down, however much it is at this point. Too much. Too much indeed. Position when trying. Shanks, very safe to wave clear on his own here. That Sunfire Cape is, yeah. Sunfire Cape and Tabby means that you can't really do that much as the Ambassador. Yeah, you might be anti-tank at some point in the game, not at this point. Again, right? So you have the Taunt. Anyone coming to help him? Look how tanky he is. He has Flash. Doesn't even need to blow it. He has another Ground Slam. Here comes the Cyclone. Arrow onto Tarzan. But they have a Galio ult. Gets out of the play, and no one's dying. They get 1 kill onto Tarzan, but it is just not soon enough. The whole team disappears at the cost of 1 monkey, and Tarzan will pay his life gladly for that opportunity. It takes so long to get the kill. 24 kills in 18 minutes from AL. Push in towards that top side. I bet Shanks and Flandre are betting that they're wishing they had the Magi's at this point, aren't they? Would have gotten a couple of kills and assists on top of that. Thunder Talk. They try and look for A play, but who can they pick off? You can't, obviously you can't pick off the Galio. They've just tried to show that. You can't pick off the Wukong without everyone else piling in. And the Gwen's untargetable too. There we go. Get stacking. Be well-read individuals. Welcome to the library of death. The earlier you get these items, the better they are. Riftmaker, Sunfire, Riftmaker, Cosmic Drive with a book on top of it. Well-read individuals. If you're in my Twitch chat, by the way, we have a Magi's emote for just situations like this. The extra move speed when you get to 10 stacks is already very painful. Oh, it's Setup's caught out. He's caught out, and he's dead anyway. The last auto, not Flame Spitter, Gatling Gun ticks as well, maybe adding towards that. Sadly, no Metro stacks for the Galio and the Gwen. Who are the only ones not involved in those kills. The tower goes down 20 minutes in. Yeah, this one's looking pretty done, isn't it? Galio pushing in towards that bot side. Clearing out that wave. Gwen groped up there. They're going to have to dive it through the inhibitor throw. Hang on a second, that's a bit of a problem. He has his ult, though. And he's punted Beitron back into the team. Here comes the Galio ult. And the needles start to fly. 2 dead. And Setup only just respawned. Hoya flashing in, gets the Alistair down, but he dies just as quickly as his prey. The stacks be stacking. The minions racing into the base. TT, can they even wave clear through this? I mean, maybe. The clone under turret from Wukong hitting the tower, helping that one out. Core lines are not okay. These books are not okay. Dragon goes down. There's an Infernal Dragon amping up that as well. Atakan likely to fall after this, and it's a Ruinous. That'll boost up the basic dragons they have. It'll boost up... Yeah. Whole lot. Each of these giving some adaptive force and some extra experience. 15 to 13 in the mid lane matchup. 14 to 14 in the top lane is the closest it gets, really. Engage under the turret and Setab ults backwards. Flandre has himself the W running. Doesn't pull the ultimate just yet, but Tarzan forces the issue. Not able to completely end up this fight. Taunt lands onto Hoya. No one's dying just now, though, right now. Kyle has himself a combo up off of cooldown again, but TT don't have the HP bars, really, to walk up to even tank that. A flash forward for the taunt. Doesn't quite land it, but it forces the flash out of Beitron. Turret falls. 2 inhibitors down in the base of TT. I think the game's going to be ending quite shortly, folks. Hoya teleports into the mid lane, looking to punish an overforce, tries to use the HP. This is their best chance they have, and it is so swiftly snatched away from them. Hoya, full HP, had 0 follow-up in anyone's legend, clutched out the defense. Clean, strategic play from anyone's legend, all on the same page. Quick reaction speed. Kyle goes in, has himself an ultimate if he wants to use it, and indeed he does. Hope jumps forward, the whole team jumps forward. Hope gets himself a double. As Shanks gets himself into the fray as well. So much armor. He can start tagging up the turret as well. The whole team's dead. Quadra kill for Hope to finish it off. Thunder Talk wiped off the Rift as anyone's legend. Our finalists from Split 1 start things off in today very well. 2-0 from their 2 best of ones. Ultra Prime. That Gwen has really ran today. Can Jien, which helps, considering that 1xN and Feather did take a bad chunk out before. Xiaoxia, now he's in a bit of an awkward spot. Headbutt away. If the spear lands, though, could be a problem, and it does. So Xiaoxia, a bit of problem. Setab has the Rune Prison for the slow onto him, dodges out on the Q, gets a good knockback, and he gets a hit from the tower, but just doesn't quite have the damage or the HP to land that. Xiaoxia, Realm Warped in, forces Beitron back. Teleport, Smite goes away. Junhao, remember, has himself... Oh, that's a flash in from the Alistair. Remember, they have the Lee Sin damage. Setup still doesn't have that flash from the earlier gank. And it's a kill. A second one over to Saber on the rise. Ultra Prime making plays well. And hey, we were saying, hey, TT in the scaling advantage for them. You know, Ultra Prime can close the distance, but only really with some, you know, Realm Warp. Hoya kicked into the wall and kicked into the grave. Junhao, clean kill from him. 1-0-2. Very, very clean. Couldn't do it the last time around, but, well, Junhao's flash came back up. Tends to help with that. Another good play from the jungler of Ultra Prime. He's had a good day. He has had a good day. The MVP on the Fury, even his Vi was ahead 2,000 gold ahead earlier. Goes back, buys himself an Eclipse. Happy all the guys who players in the LPL last year. Junhao. Xiaoxia on the bot lane turret. It's a flash forward, and that mini nod doesn't get queued because the Q goes wide from Junhao, despite the fact that he was CC'd. A rare mistake in this game from Junhao on the Lee Sin means that Hoya survives with his flash. That one is a bit of a freebie. Should not really. You can chase people down. Dragon's going to get taken now. TT not going to contest. I think that's fine. They know they have the other dragon. It's a Mountain Storm fighting for that eventual shield. Can be very, very powerful. Junhao has flash. And he's not going to be able to follow him just yet. He doesn't quite get the flash. 1xN outplays Junhao in the clutch moment. Flash for flash. But he does have to leave that turret. Now, is there a play on the other side of this? That's going to be a slight play. Hang on a second. Turret's dead. Setup can jump onto the EGN. How is this 1v1 going to go? Shojin starts to stack up, but that Gwen is looking very, very nasty. Why did he walk back? Why did he walk back? Setup gives himself up for free. Zichen just walks up and snips him down. There was no enemy teammates. An enemy maybe just thinks he can play around Baytron. Big mistake by Setup. What did he just do? Means actually that can actually be, that skill can be useful besides going towards just your mark. Dragon's gonna go down. Counterweight in the mid lane. Hang on a second, there could be a combo onto Baytron. He pops out far enough, that's fine. It's a little bit worried for a second. Half mid lane turret HP down. Siege comes through. 2 items for Ezreal, 2 items for Jace, but not completion on the Muramana. This is the power spike which you wanted to use from TT. However, with lane swaps being removed, a lot of the champions you'd see still aren't going to get played in Fearless. You know, it was the mix of Fearless and also that which helped. Atkan going down. Baytron not coming up right now. Oh, hang on a second. They're going for a steal. Do you want to go for a steal? Do they just give up the GAs? Looks like they do. Ultra Prime, take the Atkan. TT to say, well, okay, TT last game they played, no, the first game they played versus RNG, pretty good at trading objectives where they can. And this is exactly what they're doing here. They're saying, look, you might get yourself the GA. Who cares? No, we'll just take turrets. They take bot lane out of turret, they take mid lane out of turret, they push up towards bot lane inner turret, use the demolish on that. As long as the game, for both teams, I think, Baytron can't break clear this one out. So, the map becomes much more open now. 1 outer tower remains, and that's in the top lane out to 1 soul point. Oof, good spear from Baytron. Yeah, that's the poke, isn't it? That poke's nasty. And yeah, those traps, the bushwhacks, kind of nice. The extra burn from the Scorch Claw jungle item, Leandries, Horizon Focus giving the % damage increase as well. It's nothing to turn. Okay, Dragon spawning now. Poke comp online for TT. Can they actually land their shots? Oh, yes they can. Saber potentially could have flashed over for a combo. Wacko also has combos though, and Onyxen has to blow his flare, and Saber flashes forwards, and he's gone straight into a solar flare. That could be a problem. He has his teleport, so he'll be safe to come back. 1xn gonna start to wave clear. Ichian goes straight onto Hoi, has to flash away. Alright, Ultra Prime said, alright, time is now. Let's go fight while we're at full HP rather than losing our HP to the poke. Good double arrow from Wacko. Wacko's having better poke than TT on the whole. Dragon started up. Ultra Prime happy to just gun that one down. And TT aren't going to be given that much time to land their skill shots. They don't have the Leona skill, the Leona ults anymore. Dragon's going to get burst down. Is there going to be a steal? No, there isn't. Not even going to be an attempt. Now, is there going to be a fight? No Varusol. No great ways to start the engage, which means that largely the range will help. But look at the amount of damage that Varus is doing across the place. Varus so powerful. These situations, he said, hey, it's 1v3 in terms of the poke. Well, not gonna lie, I feel like the Varus is just outvaluing. Great play from Wacko. Across the last minute or so. Gets from the Dragon, and now suddenly Soul Point for Ultra Prime. It's a slow burn. Thought TT would be able to saying, oh, we can do something here, without understanding where the follow-up was. He was in the middle of a mini wave. Too many teammates around him to really capitalize. Oh, Feather has to flash over Shenhao. Realm Warp's coming in. The tanks are tanking it up for now. Meganar comes in, and that's a big Meganar into the wall. But do they have the damage? I don't think they do. 4-man Ezreal looks good, but it doesn't really lead to that much damage. Ultra Prime, they just get 3-man Gnar ulted, and no one gives a damn. EJang's on the side lane. Takes himself. Right. Let's force ourselves to fight, finally. Shasha, no ult, but he does have the Celestial position, and he has himself a flash to force the play if they want. That's a very quickly disappearing Baron. Baytron's not even going to be there in time. Varusol hits onto him, and now they run back. Needlework getting some slows down. Feather has no flash, courtesy of that top lane play earlier. Some damage from Setup, but it's not nearly enough. Setup's going to die pretty much uncontested. Baron and a kill, and TT, their poke isn't mattering. Getting like a good Leona combo onto a target, but I don't think Feather's been having the best game ever on Leona right now. Get to walk up, take a turret, more gold. 2 in 1. This is a good situation for them. Significant gold lead. A Mountain Soul given over for free. Are you kidding me, TT? They give over the soul for free. Ultra Prime getting everything they want. TT just aren't, they don't feel strong. They don't feel like they can walk up. They don't even attempt to do anything around that dragon. What is happening? TT choosing not to give any fights at all. Romo comes in towards Beige one. Egeon pops the Ghost. He has himself Needlework as well. Uses the W to get through the Boulder Toss. Can he get himself another slow? I'm sure they can. No one's coming up to help them. Ezreal and Jace are on opposite sides of the map. Hoya might be able to escape, but I don't know. What's the counterplay here? You're just pushing out lanes? Hoya still on enemy side of the map. Egeon walking up. Does get slowed. But Hoya might just get shut down at the pass anyway. Flash combo could happen from Xiaoxu if he wants to. I think maybe just commit the flash at this point, folks. He's going for it anyway. Oh, Xiaoxu. Just flash earlier next time, mate. Hoya might actually make his way out now because Jace is on his same side of the map. This is a bit of a Yakety Sax moment. The acceleration gate comes through and Hoya will make it out alive. Saber on vision now. Can they do anything with it? No, they can't because the solar flare is so wide. Start healing up with the blood thirst all the same. Right, Baron started up. Is anyone going to answer? There's a Meganar currently. Is there a teleport angle? Yeah, but it's a bit far away. Is this Meganar going to run out before it even goes down? It is. So the Nars is teleported in for nothing, and now suddenly the Realm Warp's coming in. Do they have any extra combos coming through? Well, Alistair's starting to force the fight. The kick goes onto 1XM, but he makes it out okay. Feather goes down. Again, birds of a feather die together. EGM pops his ult. Ultra Prime once again get themselves a Baron and a single kill onto Feather off of the back of it. Junhao uses his flash, but now suddenly they get to walk in with this Varus, who has been a better poke bot than all three poke champions on TT combined. With the Baron buffing up the minions. They'll break this inhibitor, surely. Break the base, finally. And I think TT might just be out of options now. What was the plan, TT? Stall? Wait until Elder? Another wave's going to start getting shuffled in to top lane inhibitor. That'll go down surely after this point too. Gwen starts to hit the tower. Ultra Prime. Playing it like textbook. Saber has flash, maybe he can force a play there. Oh, Savaris not landing onto setup. It's going to do that much damage though. Ichen. Meganar helps put some people under turret, but it's not that much damage. And there's a Zhonya's on Ichen, so he can't even finish off the kill. Null goes down without really achieving anything. Junhao gets a kick, doesn't quite get himself the kill there, but his friends will help him out. Wacko bringing the artillery. Ultra Prime. An unexpected result from them off of day one of games will go 2-1 in their group. Thunder Talk, the team which beat BLG last split in the group stage. Back up melee autos so quickly with your Q auto attack reset with Sejuani. But Flandre and Vladimir is really the spectacle to watch out for in this game. He currently has a Vladimir. That could be a bit of a problem for Gwen if they go up towards it. Yeah, Xiaoxu has overstayed here. Ah, friend, that's not it. Oh, tries to stay, and he's just died. Oh, Xiaoxu, the hard work was done, son. And now he'll have to teleport back into lane in 10 seconds. Maybe we'll folks, if you didn't watch Flandre's start of his career, which I have to say I need to go back and watch more of. Such an impressive thing. Level 6 from Xiaoxu, potential play. Hit good damage into level 4 Kyle. Good stun on there too. Passive leading onto Fiona, but that's a ult from the Sejuani, and a kill goes over to anyone's legend to start off things. Jachi jumps over the wall. He's starting to stack up his lethal tempo. Can he get more damage onto that? Shanks misses his ultimate, and Tarzan is stuck on the wrong side of the wall. Jachi doesn't have himself. Well, he could have maybe flashed over. Chooses not to. Tong Yuan chooses to do so instead, though, and picks up a second kill. 2 for 2 in the bot side. Who scales better? Well, there's always a bit of a question about that, but for me it's anyone's legend that does it. They have way better tanks on the whole. Kyle has level 6, both supports getting themselves after shot. Kyle gets himself the center blade over the play, not choosing to use his ult. Niket gets out safely. Both supports trading their defensive tools. Niket needs to mount up before he can go for a crash down with his flash. Hope going in. That's a Tarzan ult onto the Vi, who immediately exploded. It's absolute pandemonium. 4v4 on the bot side, leading toward a 1 for 2 as it stands. Into the 2v3, Tong Yuan and Jachi have enough damage to be a real threat here. Hope has himself a flash, and he'll have to use it, but it's a flash follow from the Kai'Sa and makes it a 2 for 3 in favor of RNG. Yeah. I completely forgot what I was saying then. Jachi, no flash, needs to be careful here. Tarzan has ultimate and might force the cleanse. Cleanse is used there. There is some extra CC from the cleanse, and Jachi ults away from the play, goes on to Kyle instead. Good save from him. Shanks going forwards, but he doesn't quite get himself the kill until he pulls his ultimate. Wasn't sure he was going to use it there. Goes through, uses the flash. Jachi, clever escape at first, but not enough for the end of the fight. Kill pulled back. 1 for 1 though, Kyle goes down. I think getting the kill onto Jachi more important though. It is that shutdown. Kill onto Shanks too, importantly so. Say that is important now, though. Another kill goes on to Tongyuan too. Very, very powerful Banui. Stun onto Tarzan. Yeah, Tongyuan's got a lot of gold here, but Shanks does have better consistent damage. It is still Yone. Doesn't have the ult. Damage all the same. The cat flying in the turret gets himself the shield. While all this is happening, CS flash. But it's really hard to make a player's Vi onto that Vladimir. He has Cosmic Drive stacked up. He had Swiftness Boots. Has himself flashed. They're going in towards a play. Jungle support caught up in the combo by Niket. The resistance is starting to get shred. Jachi untouched. For now, here comes Vladimir, but can they finish the kill? He gets himself into a W, and that is a lot of healing back, but it's not enough. It's not enough. Flandre goes down using both summoners, and the Fed member of the Vladimir can't do enough because Shanks isn't at the play either. They run out of damage. And RNG pick up some great kills in topside. Vladimir down. Sejuani, Leona down. They're winning in the jungle support battle. And the Vladimir, too early into the game for him to be going for like one-shot plays like that. Shanks gets himself a Terror on the other side. He'll be happy to get that individual gold onto the Yone, but some big... Well, it's mid-career really. Not at 2015, but more like towards... It's like 2017, 2018, maybe 2019. Right. Herald. Obviously claimed by RNG. They can use that at some point if they so wish. Dragon apiece. Xiaoshu reclaiming some... Herald into mid lane. Mid lane turret's going to die. Means that RNG can reclaim some of that map control. So while they're not winning on side lanes, they're doing pretty well at pushing through mid lane as it stands. Yuntal and Hurricane for Jiachi is worth noting. That's pretty good, being able to hit multiple targets at once. If you're hitting both tank frontliners at once, if Sejuani and Leona are in the same spot, you get a lot of increased damage if you're going on to both of them. Probably going towards a Lord Dominus Regards, I suppose, after that one. Well, I mean, you do really want Rage Blade a lot of the time, but the double stack your passive. We'll see what he ends up going towards, but still. Jiachi, no Rage Blade in this build. Has to be after Baron spawn for that one, which is now at 25 minutes. Atakan on the table, Yone backing. Has himself 2 items. He ends up a little bit more than that. Quick catch onto Tarzan. That's a lot more damage than I think he was expecting. And suddenly, Kyle goes into the play. It's onto the front line, the damage right now. It's onto Milky Way and Niket. Milky Way no flash. And Niket goes back in, gets himself some damage down. Aurora gets a combo afterwards. What is Tongyuan doing, though? He flashes away from his ultimate. Jiachi and Xiaoshu plowing through some damage, but is it enough to clean up? They've lost 1 already, lost 2 already. But suddenly, Shanks starts to ult forwards, and he gets himself the Kaiser. Vladimir's down though, and Gwen trying to regen through. Hope cleaning up the play. It is a mess. It goes back and forth and back again. Hope, can he get himself a combo onto Milky Way? If he gets a Q on target, could end up killing him. Doesn't use it. Blastcone gets him in E range, and autos will do the rest of it. Hope, the sole survivor of the play as Niket respawns. Starts up the dragon. RNG. He takes a hell of a lot of damage from basically the Hemo Plague and a bit of extra follow-up damage from that too. If Aurora doesn't get... Vladimir was over 1,000, down to only 300 gold. Ultimate misses onto Milky Way. No flash, no ultimate. Can they catch him anyway? Sejuani passive, doing work, but is it doing enough? Yes, it is, alongside the rest of the team's damage. And suddenly, though there might have been a pick onto the Vladimir, it may have just led to a smiteless Atakan contest. Any of the legends say, all right, 1 for 1, but you don't have your neutral objective take now. Gwen on the other side of the map without a teleport. Anyone's legend starting to go towards the voracious Atakan. There's no teleport for Tarzan right now, still on cooldown. Jiachi and Tongyuan back out on the map, but Niket dies. Atakan starting to really start to shred them, and that means that Jiachi sees an angle to go in. No flash, Shanks ends up getting a knockup onto Tongyuan. Is that enough? The Atakan's going lower and lower. Is it going to get finished? It's so close, 1,000 HP with no smite, and it goes to RNG and Jiachi. Jiachi has so much damage, and it's a triple kill to the Kaiser, a quadra kill to the Kaiser. What do we make of this, folks? The smite's down, but you're getting shredded, and you use so many of your cooldowns onto Niket, who hits an ult, which also shreds because of the Rel passive. Look how much damage the Atakan does after this point. So Jiachi says, screw it, I'm going in. I think that they've chosen poor fights. I think their front line has been caught up by this Rel time and time again. They've not actually done that much work on catching the back line. If the fight's gone front line to front line, it has felt like RNG have won. Because the Aurora and the Kaiser have been doing so much work. Xiaoshu goes forward with the W. Going through the E. Good damage. Oh! Massive combo coming through, but where's the follow-up? There's Solar Flare coming through, but it's not a kill. Remember, they have the GAs, the withdrawals coming through. Chachi starting to get the lethal tempo ticking. It's going, and he's going forward for even more damage. A slow from a team-wide red buff will slow down Hope. Will it be enough to get themselves a kill? No, it won't. Hope outplays and kills the Gwen in return with that withdrawal. Now suddenly Chachi is in a little bit of trouble now. Uses the ultimate to reposition himself, but not before. He takes down the Yoni and flashes over a Q, and the Ezreal's gone down too. A trade. It's going to be a straight kill on Chachi as the GA times out. But what a play from the young AD carry of RNG. Hot Rod stuff, 10-3 and 10. Does this lead to anything more? They had the Baron buff. No, it doesn't. They're not going to stay for a Nexus turret, but they get themselves an inhibitor. And RNG, I am sorry for not believing. I was asked earlier multiple times, do they have a chance of an upset? Well, not really compared to how anyone's let amp them up. And two, if you're already trading 1 for 1, no, you're not, actually. You're trading 1 for an item. 5-minute cooldown. Hexdrinker picked up for Hope. That's not going to help. 1,000 gold behind. So's the jungle. So's the AD carry. Mid lane, slight advantage to Shanks, but Shanks hasn't been able to get onto the back line either. Someone needs to kill these carries. Someone's needed to kill these carries the whole bloody game. It's just not been clean. They've been managing to get some damage onto the front line. Catch out Niket every now and then, but it doesn't matter if you're catching Niket, and if the back line is having to capitalize when the cooldown's being down. The amount of times we've seen 3, 4 ultimates thrown onto Milky Way or Niket, and not onto Jatchi and Tongyuan, has been too much in this game. And Annual's Legend might actually be seeing themselves go equal with Ultra Prime to be tied first in the group. Well, not tied first because Ultra Prime lost their head-to-head, but be equal in 2-1 record. Inhibitor down in the bot lane, spawning in a few minutes. Mid lane, soon to fall after this, it feels like. Shashi using the W, and the Tarzan Guardian goes into the Harrow. Like Annual's Legend have not been able to find their targets effectively, not been able to get towards the back line in a way which is effective enough. Tarzan's going to trade sweepers. The Tongyuan jumps forwards with that Q, spotting him on the sweeper. Trades a little bit of HP for HP, has a lot of magic resist. Shanks trying to stack up that Q. They spot the Baron getting started. Tongyuan trying to get some poke down, gets some onto Shanks. Milky Way hovers over the wall, and they go on to Flandre, force the W. That feels like it's a mistake for Milky Way, potentially, and that's actually Aurora getting caught by Shanks. Shanks does get his value, and the Aurora goes down. What about Jatchi? What can he do? Can he do anything? Xiaoshu! Maybe it's Xiaoshu, maybe it's not about Jatchi. There is a GA, and Xiaoshu there as well. It feels like, though, with a triple kill for Flandre, it just doesn't matter, for all RNG have fought and strived. They have hit the ground just the same. Anyone's Legend stave off the Baron attempt, and for the first time, Shanks finds a carry into the backline at the start of a fight, and RNG can't clean up. Flandre, triple kill. Anyone's Legend will break open the mid lane and maybe gain control of this game. How soon do they peel back off for the Baron? They'll leave Flandre alone there. Triple kill for him, savior of that team fight alongside Shanks. And RNG, they will be shaking their heads with that one. Been thrown back in live though. Dragon in 20 seconds. No soul as it stands. Milky Way, can you get a better ult this time? There was no follow-up onto the Flandre Vladimir the last time around. Tongyuan going forwards and gets a good combo onto Kyle. Is that going to be enough to get a kill? Kyle gets some CC back, and Shanks misses his ult. That's important. That's one of their big tools gone, but that's a 3-man E from Flandre, and Shanks gets his Q. Again, the damage is starting to come through from all members. Everyone does so much damage, and it's Xiaoshu this time, which actually can carry the fight. Hope goes through into a song. Is it enough? Does he have another E? Yes, he does for now, but he doesn't have the damage. Xiaoshu cleans up, and the Gwen hits it home. Anyone's Legend reclaim control of the game, but they threw it just as quick, despite having themselves the Baron buff. There's a Nexus turret alive. Xiaoshu can't run towards it immediately. But with these death timers, RNG, despite the throw at the Baron, will have made it to a win against Anyone's Legend. There will be no 3-0 group in the first round robin. RNG complete the upset, and Anyone's Legend fall to them.